Listen, I want to thank everybody for being here. Especially, I want to thank, there are a lot of people who are behind me right now who've been heavily involved on the topic that we're here to talk about today. And that is to ensure that we are going to take every step necessary to improve housing supply and improve affordability of housing. I want to thank the legislators with us here today, Senators Betancourt and Hughes and Representatives Gates, Orr, and Hefner.
The Texas housing miracle is over. In this special report, we analyze MLS data, foreclosure filings, and insurance records to expose the 10 suburbs where the market is collapsing now. From Frisco to Leander and the #1 worst suburb facing total financial catastrophe, we reveal the data you're not hearing from realtors. If you own, are thinking of buying, or are invested in Texas real estate, this is the briefing you can't miss. You've seen the headlines: the Texas miracle, no state income tax, a boomtown economy that defied gravity for a decade. Buying a house here didn't feel like an investment. It felt like a guarantee. But guarantees in real estate are a fairy tale. What you're about to see is not a cooling. It's not a correction. In the 10 suburbs on this road trip, it is a full-scale, data-driven meltdown. For sale signs aren't just sitting, they're multiplying. Price cuts aren't whispered. They're broadcast in $100,000 slashes. And buyer demand hasn't just slowed, it has evaporated. I've spent months analyzing MLS trends, foreclosure filings, insurance data, and builder inventories. Today, we're counting down the 10 Texas suburbs where the dream is twisting into a financial nightmare. The #1 spot is a community most thought was untouchable just 12 months ago. This isn't opinion. This is evidence. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which Texas city are you most worried about? First stop, the Dallas suburb that's become a monument to overbuilding. Number 10, Frisco, the ghost suburb. We start in Frisco, the poster child for limitless growth. But now, it's the blueprint for a market drowning in its own supply. Drive through new subdivisions like Brighton or Starwood, and you'll see the truth. Finished streets, perfect houses, and zero moving vans. According to North Texas Real Estate Information Systems, NTREIS, new home inventory here has exploded by 40% in 90 days. Builders are in a panic. Redfin data shows 1 in 3 active listings has a price cut. But these aren't tweaks. We're seeing $70,000, $100,000, even $150,000 slashed from asking prices. Why? Because builders are offering 4% mortgage buy-downs and $50,000 in upgrade credits that traditional sellers can't match. The result? Your equity is competing against a corporation fire sale. The average Frisco home now sits for 75 days. This isn't a slowdown. This is a market seizing up. Number 9, McKinney, the golden handcuffs. Right next door, McKinney faces a different trap, the golden handcuff effect. Zillow data confirms a huge portion of owners here locked in sub 3% rates in 2021. On paper, they're rich. In reality, they're trapped. Sell, their payment doubles on a new loan. Stay, they're house poor. This has frozen the market solid. Texas Real Estate Research Center reports days on market have jumped 110%. Listings sit until sellers face reality. A Realtor.com analysis shows the gap between list price and sold price in McKinney is now over 8%. This is a standoff, and time is not on the seller's side. Number 8, Prosper, the luxury fire sale. We head north to Prosper, where the luxury dream is dying. This was the $1 million showroom. Now, It's the clearance aisle. Inventory for homes over $1.5 million is up 50%. Builders who over-leveraged are now executing fire sales. $300,000, $500,000 price chops are common. Why? The move-up buyer is gone. Tech bonuses, stock portfolios, executive pay, all tightened. A $1.2 million home from 2022 now competes with an identical new build listed at $850,000. That's $350,000 in evaporated paper wealth overnight. The higher you climbed here, the harder you fall. Number 7. Anna, the foreclosure epicenter. Further north, the exurb of Anna reveals the cost of explosive, unplanned growth. Buyers chased affordability but hit a wall of 2-hour commutes, overcrowded schools, and crumbling roads. Now, the bill is due. Texas foreclosure filings, tracked by ATTOM, rank Anna's zip codes among the highest in the state. With nearly identical homes built in 2021 to 2023, competition is brutal. Inventory is up 60%. Builders are discounting new homes by $40,000 plus, resetting the comps for everyone. Remote workers called back to Dallas offices are facing a math equation that no longer works. This isn't a suburb, it's a cautionary tale. Number 6. Leander, the property tax trap. Now we enter the Austin MSA, starting with Leander. The crisis here isn't just prices, it's the Texas property tax landmine. Williamson County has some of the highest effective tax rates in the U.S., near 3%. A family in a $600,000 home faces an $18,000 annual tax bill. That's $1,500 a month on top of your mortgage. Redfin estimates nearly 25% of 2021 to 2022 buyers here are now underwater. Why? Because investors are dumping vacant rental properties, creating entire streets of for sale signs that crush values for everyone. In Texas, the true cost of ownership arrives after you close. Leander is the proof. Number 5. Georgetown, the retirement nightmare. Up the road, Georgetown marketed itself as a sunny, low-cost retirement haven. It became a retirement trap. Fixed-income seniors are being priced out by soaring property taxes and insurance. Homes in 55-plus communities now sit for 95 days plus. Inventory is 40% above normal. These seniors can't afford to stay, and they can't afford to sell because the California equity cash-out they planned on has also shrunk. This is a systemic collapse of a planned retirement, and it's happening in real time. Number 4. Kyle, the iBuyer graveyard. South of Austin, Kyle is ground zero for the failed iBuyer experiment. Companies like Opendoor and OfferPad bought thousands of homes algorithmically. When the music stopped, they dumped inventory. We've documented homes bought for $450,000 now selling for $320,000, a $130,000 loss per house. For regular homeowners, it's a catastrophe. How do you compete when a tech firm sells an identical model next door for 25% less than you paid? You don't. Kyle is now littered with zombie listings, vacant corporate-owned homes rotting the fabric of neighborhoods. The experiment is over. The residents are left with the bill. Number 3. Pearland, the uninsurable zone. Near Houston, Pearland's crisis is existential. You can't have a housing market without insurance. After repeated floods, insurers like Farmers and Allstate have retreated. Premiums have tripled. A standard home now costs $8,000 to $12,000 a year to insure. That's like adding $1,000 a month to your payment. New FEMA flood maps force even more homes into mandatory coverage. Buyers are walking away after getting quotes. Inventory is up 35% as demand plummets. If you can't insure it, you can't sell it. Pearland is the canary in the coal mine for climate-driven market failure. Number 2. Katy, the energy job bust. In Katy, the entire ecosystem was built on oil and gas wealth. But the modern energy sector isn't hiring, it's automating. That uncertainty has frozen the high-end market. The Houston Association of Realtors reports sales over $500,000 are down 30%, while inventory is up 45%. Executives aren't buying $750,000 homes when the next layoff cycle is always looming. Luxury rentals are softening, squeezing investors. Katy's identity is tied to a single, volatile industry. And right now, that industry is in capital discipline mode, which is corporate code for don't buy a mansion. And now, the number 1 suburb in Texas facing the most severe, undeniable meltdown, Round Rock. Yes, Round Rock, the heart of Silicon Hills, home to Dell, and a magnet for tech transplants. This was supposed to be bulletproof, but the data reveals a perfect storm. Tech layoffs, Apple, Meta, Google, the hiring frenzy is over. The economic engine has stalled. Tax shock. Like Leander, Williamson County's brutal property taxes are hitting families already stressed by cost of living. Investor flight. Institutional buyers are offloading portfolios, creating a sudden flood of identical rental homes on the market. Price capitulation. NTREIS data shows median price declines of 12% year over year, the largest drop in the Austin MSA. Active listings have doubled. Days on market have tripled. We're seeing $200,000 plus price cuts on homes bought at the absolute peak. This isn't a dip, it's a precipice. Round Rock proves no market is immune. When the high-paying jobs stop moving in and the taxes keep going up, the miracle evaporates. The Texas housing market isn't crashing everywhere, but in these 10 suburbs, the evidence is overwhelming. The risk has radically changed. If you're thinking of buying, your due diligence must now include insurance feasibility, tax projection, and job market stability. If you own, you need to understand the real comps in your neighborhood, not the Zestimate from 2022. This is the new reality in 2026. Share this video with anyone making a Texas real estate decision. Let me know in the comments, did we miss a suburb? What are you seeing on your street? I'm Global Reality Today. We don't sell hype. We analyze data. Hit subscribe and tap the notification bell. Because in this market, what you don't know will hurt you.